So this is the way it goes. One wrong turn and you find all sorts of surprises. Well, this may look familiar to people. This is the Black Bridge over to Waterford. So this is the way it goes. One wrong turn and you find all sorts of surprises. Well, this may look familiar to people. This is the Black Bridge over to Waterford on the Black Bridge Trail. Thought I'd dump one of my problems on everybody today and let you see what I'm dealing with here. So we're gonna go across the where I need to get to. I gotta go down the Champlain Canalway Trail here through Waterford into Half Moon. Not gonna quite make it to Half Moon, but maybe just on the outskirts. You know, I love this trail. It is so beautiful on this trail. So, like, for being so close to the city, like, you know, Waterford's a small city, but it's still a city, right? And for being so close to a city, man, it feels remote and wild, you know? You only really have to pedal a couple miles down this trail and you're pretty much out in the middle of, not nowhere, because, you know, you're close. There's a main road that runs along the side of this trail, but yeah. It's definitely what I consider to be like if you were talking about hidden treasures in the capital region, like a hidden treasure, just to walk, jog, bike. Like, if you have a bike, get your butt to Waterford and ride this trail. Like, you can park over by the Erie Canal down in the Waterford Village. Take your bike off and just head up this trail. I mean, look at this. This is stunning. Stunningly beautiful. And like I said, it feels way more remote than it actually is. I've done a video on this trail before, so that's not really what this video is about. Even though this video does give me an excuse to ride one of my favorite trails. But I didn't think I had to have like variety on this channel. Listen, I'd be riding this trail all the time. Packing myself a picnic. Coming down here just to be quiet and listen to the quiet. You know? Be quiet and listen to the quiet. So I wanted to comment on one of my favorite channels, Velocipedia. The guy was originally from outside of Blackpool in the UK. And, you know, he's had some changes in his life. Personal stuff I'm not going to go into. It's none of my business to be telling his business, you know. But he recently decided to make a move to, I think it's Singapore. I could be wrong. Could be the Philippines. I'm not sure. I didn't quite catch it. I watched the video. He had done this video where he was saying, like, that's it for the channel. I'll see you all down the road. I'm off on an adventure. And a lot of us just thought, like, oh, shoot, okay. Well, that's the end of his channel, right? But no. Now he's back with another video. So if you haven't seen him, Velocipedia. He's got, so now he just took like his favorite bike over to wherever it was he went to, and that's it. He's doing the bike commute thing, going around living life. I mean, how can you hate on that? You know, how can you do it? He just decided, I need something new. That's it. Man, how many times have we all dreamt of that, right? I need to do something new. All right. My arch nemesis on this trail is this freaking hill. Man, oh man. I haven't even started it yet. Haven't even started yet. All right. And here we go. Look at this thing. I mean, come on. Granny gears. Here we go. Oh. Am I gonna do it? Or am I gonna have to hike a bike? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Slowly but surely, we're gonna get to the top. All right. Who's gonna defeat who? Am I dying? Or is this hill gonna let me up it? I don't know. Gravity sucks. Woo! All right. My legs are thoroughly trounced. I'm not even to the top yet. Almost. This little hump. Holy moly. Once I get to this top here, I'm gonna take a break. Sometimes you just need to beat your own butt, you know? Sometimes the best remedy for stress in your life is putting more stress in your life. Like this. Now, I'm gonna get a drink, catch my breath, and we will continue on with the show. Look at these skies. Look at that. I know there's a nice factory in the foreground, but, you know, like I said, for being so close to a main road and being so close to the city of Waterford, It feels remote. You know? Look at that. Sky's blue. And on the horizon, it's like white, pillowy clouds. Like, come on. It's good for what ails you, right? All right, folks. All right. Ooh. Caught my breath, got a drink. Admired the landscape and the clouds, the blue skies. Man, I tell you, I really needed this today. I've been a little stressed out about some personal stuff. God. You know, I think, I think I've talked about this in other videos about preparing for retirement. Definitely talked about kind of visualizing the life that you want to have and limiting the amount of draw that people have on your life. You know, like you have to be able to say no to people. And I think because I've tried to cultivate empathy for myself, because empathy was never really a natural thing for me growing up. You know, that guy, any empathy that I had when I started out was like taken from me at a very early age. I say taken from me, maybe it wasn't ever there, I don't know. But working in human services for 36 years has really kind of forced me to, become more empathetic with people, more generous. Definitely being a father definitely did that. I wasn't perfect, trust me. I was not a perfect dad. Still am not, but I tried. And I try still, but I've just got these quirks about me that are just, sometimes I can be very stubborn, extremely stubborn. And I don't want anybody telling me what to do. And I don't want anybody thinking they can talk to me any way they want to talk to me. That's a real, trigger for me. And I've always been that way. When I was a kid, I had real anger issues, and I could easily fly off the handle at people just because I thought they disrespected me in some way, or I was mostly just feeling like disrespect. But it was all out of fear, right? So, you're angry when you're attacking people, but that anger stems from fear, right? At least in my case, whenever I thought I was being disrespected, it was like, I was angry about it, but it was just fear. Fear that, people saw me as less than I thought I was. Fear that I was being rejected, which I had a lot of when I was younger, when I was a little kid. So I've spent decades now just, I was not perfect doing this, and it's really been like the past 15 or 20 years that I've really kind of sorted out my feelings towards empathy and this, that, and the other thing. How to be empathetic. And it took some doing. On my part too, because, working in the psych field, it wasn't always easy to have empathy for people, because I don't know if you've ever worked in direct care, sometimes you don't get treated the best. But people are sick, But lately I found myself struggling, kind of reverting back as I get closer to retirement, I revert back to, not really a lack of empathy, but I kind of, I don't know, I'm a little choosy, I guess you could say. I'm more discerning on who I spend my empathy on. I only have so much. You can only have so much empathy in you. As I get older and I get closer to retirement, I kind of think about, people in my life. How much empathy do I have to spend on people? Because, I don't know, seems like, and I'm pretty sure everybody has this problem, right? Seems like there's people in everybody's life, we all have them, that, just they're not on the same page. Here, in my own case, I'm getting closer to retirement, and, I want to start making plans. I want to start squaring stuff away. Which is really, the main purpose of this ride today is one of those things that I have to start getting squared away. Starting to heat up. Rain last night. So things are a little damp. And yeah. So I think we go this way. But I am not sure. This is just an extension of the trail here, and this is going to bring us out to like the main road that runs from Waterford to actually Half Moon Mechanicville. But there's a park up here that I want to check out. And I'm not quite sure where it is. I think it's down this way. I'm not sure. All right, we got some directions. Lighthouse Park. See anybody coming? Coast is clear. Let's go. All right. Ooh. Reserved for a wedding on Saturday. All right. I'm like running over the curbs and grass and everything. So, this is Lighthouse Park in, is it Half Moon? Could be. Not quite sure. There's some public bathrooms here and everything. Wow. All right. We are in the town of Half Moon. And this behind me is Lighthouse Park. And let me show you the sign here. Lighthouse Park on the Hudson River, New York State Environmental Protection Fund. Andrew Cuomo. Yeah. They got a little parking lot here. This is really cool. I really like this park. Very cool. Wow. Very, very cool. Check this thing out. This lighthouse here. It's made out of like bricks and stuff. In memory of Matthew Screta, who designed and built this lighthouse in 1960. Right here. Yeah. Doesn't work. Yeah. Doesn't work. Oh well. Pretty cool. It's cool anyways, right? Just a warning, everybody. Don't drink while you're boating. Boating under the influence is bad. So we have these docks here. So I guess if you wanted to, you could like pull your boat in here and then come up here and, I don't know, have a picnic or something, or I don't know. I don't know what this is. Is that a ladder? I'm not sure. I don't know. I wouldn't be like, I don't know what that is. Taking a dip in the Hudson is generally, I would say, discouraged. Yeah. Anyways, this is the Hudson River. I mean, these are like the little, look at this. Look at this. How long did it take me to get here from the city, right? Now, granted, Waterford sits on, you know, both the Mohawk and the Hudson. Yeah, so it only takes a couple minutes to, you know, to get to someplace like this and hang out. You can hang out for the day. You can, I guess you could fish. There was a ban on like some fishing here, but I think Department of Environmental Conservation for New York State has since lifted the ban on some fish, so you can eat, because this river was highly polluted at one point, and it was mostly came from like upriver, and they did a lot of like dredging in the river to kind of get rid of that top soil that was all like toxic and everything. And I think the river is making a comeback because you see a lot of wildlife coming back. There's, eagles nesting close by and stuff and all sorts of things. So, yeah. Not to keep harping on how nicely made Jamis bikes are. But look, I'm pushing my bike. I'm carrying my camera with this hand, and I'm pushing my bike. Right, look at how I got it. Right by the stem, right here. And it's not trying to tip. Not trying to veer off anywhere. It's a perfectly balanced bike. Again, this is my Jamis Sequel S2. I was going to get the Renegade out today, I really was, but the chain is I got to clean that chain, man. That chain is in poor condition. I've been abusing that poor bike. And I think, if not tomorrow, next week, I'll be spending some deliberate time cleaning that chain. Public restrooms. Restrooms open from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Let's see. Oops. Let's see. Is it open? Oh, look at that. Wow. I never knew that this was here. That's crazy. Never knew. So you could stop from 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. here in this park. They even have a sharks container here for people who have diabetes. Hopefully that's what it's being used for, right? Diabetes stuff, or like insulin shots or some other kind of shots or needles. Finger stick needles or something. Sometimes they are not used for that. Sometimes you can get people with habits doing stuff in public restrooms like that. Even though this seems pretty, empty, I'd say. Park benches, there's picnic tables there. I don't see any places to grill anything. There's no open grills or anything like that, and that's probably by design. They probably don't want people having cookouts here because that's just more trash, right? So you can tell Half Moon takes pride in this park. So if you're ever on Route 4, either heading down to Waterford or heading out to Mechanicville through Half Moon, stop at this park, the Lighthouse Park. Yeah, Lighthouse Park on the Hudson River. This is a great little park, nice and quiet. I'm gonna pack a lunch sometime and come out here and just chill. Right? All right. Let's get ready to get back on the road here. This is a great little park. You want to come and just hang out and chill, man, Oh, let me push you back a little bit. All right. I want to get more of the blue sky behind me. All right? Nothing but blue skies. All right. Here comes the tricky part. We have to hop on this road, which is semi-busy, but they have some big trucks that go down this road. And we have to go up the road here a little bit to get to where I need to go to. So this should be interesting. And the fact that I'm not wearing a helmet doesn't make me nervous at all. So today I just decided, you know, I see all these guys pedaling around without helmets on. My helmet's a little uncomfortable. I probably have to get a better fitting one. And yeah, so today I'm just gonna Rambo it, right? Yeah. We'll see if that was a wise choice or not. All right. Onward we go. All right, so first of all, let me just say I took a wrong turn. And so, yeah, I was supposed to go left instead of right out of the park. But listen, sometimes when stuff like that happens, adventure awaits. I found, and I didn't even know this place was here, the John Flynn Cemetery, established in 1801. This is like right on the side of Route 4 here, from going from Waterford to Half Moon, or straight out to Mechanicville if you keep going, right? And I've driven by this place. I've driven by this hundreds of times. I never knew it was here. So I had to look it up. So the cemetery is named after John Flynn. You'll have to excuse, there's a bunch of, we are right next to one of the main roads here. The cemetery is named after John Flynn, who was one of the early Irish immigrants to the area in the 18th century. So the 1700s he was here, right? And he settled along the Hudson River Road, which is this road here, right? This road here, Route 4 is Hudson River Road, right? In 1753, well before the Revolutionary War, right? And so, let's see. He was a prominent local figure who established public tavern, public house. And I think that was near the park back there. And his family integrated tightly into early Saratoga County history. Notably, his son-in-law was Colonel John Fitzgerald, another prominent early local figure whose family also has a small namesake plot nearby. Why the town's oldest private family plots contain graves stretching across the late 18th and 19th century, turn of the 19th century, 1801 apparently, marks the period when many of these early pioneer families, having survived the disruptions of the Revolutionary War, permanently formalized their family plots and established boundaries. Okay. Wow. So that's this cemetery here. And like I said, I never knew this place was here. Had no idea. Let's take a look around. This is really... like I've driven by this place, I don't know how many times. And it took me being on my bike and taking a wrong turn out of the park for me to find it. This is crazy. I wonder if this is on Find a Grave. I'm going to have to look. John Flynn, who died. I don't know what that is. 23rd. Wow. This is amazing. That is so weird. Thomas Cole? Thomas Cole, I think. Wow. And I don't even want to I can't even imagine what these stones are for, right? And look, they have these kind of, it's like a stone wall almost, but it's almost like it's a plot or something. You know what I mean? I wonder if I'm going to be able to find any pictures of this place. That's like, what a great thing, right? I'm out on my bike. I have a purpose. I'm going to the place I want to go to, right? I have a goal to reach. But I veer off. Now, we looked at the lighthouse park. I didn't even really think about going there until I was up on the trail, right? My original intention wasn't even to stop there. But if I hadn't stopped there, I wouldn't have taken the wrong turn on the way out. And if I didn't take the wrong turn on the way out, I wouldn't have found this. I wouldn't have talked to this other gentleman here that works at the Waterford Fire District, right? And he told me about another old cemetery that's near their main firehouse. Wow. Look at how crazy is this, right? How crazy is this? Man, oh man. Let's see. $1855. All right, so yeah, that was the John Flynn Cemetery that I accidentally found. Apparently the town keeps this up. They took it over. Was a family plot for many years, but as families, you know, kind of die off or move away, you know, the town took it over as a historic site. So yeah, wow. Yeah, it's amazing. All right, we gotta turn around and go back the other way. I suppose the good thing is we are on the correct side of the road. This place that I'm heading to is on this side. So, yeah. You know, who says you can't live car free in the United States? I say you can. There's ways. You can do it. Especially places with really good biking infrastructure. You know, there is a push. There's cities around the country that they're trying to, like, you know, make their cities more bike friendly and allow people to access all the things they need to access on a bike, whether it's grocery shopping, going to the doctors, you name it. Lock One Marina. And we've reached our destination. All right. All right. Well, apparently, what is more annoying than somebody taking something that you need and not telling you? What could possibly be more annoying? I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. I am, I'm trying to be of good cheer. I really am. How appropriate. How appropriate for me to have that little chit chat earlier, right? Where I was like, hey, how much empathy can you have for people before you run dry? I mean, I'm just like, So my plan today was to pedal out to my storage unit and show y'all how full it is and how much stuff I've got there for. And it's all like Christmas decorations and stuff, but it's also filled with like collectibles, but it's all Christmas and Santa Claus themed. So yeah, and I was gonna see like, what should I do with all this stuff? Should I be like, posting it on Facebook Marketplace, or looking for a wholesaler to come in, just offer me something for the whole lot? I don't know. But I can't. Because I don't have my key to the locker. So we're back in like the lighthouse park, and just gonna have a drink of water and I guess head back to the trail. Ate a protein bar. Switched the battery out on my camera. We are ready to continue, I guess. Not exactly what I wanted to have happen today, but we had some surprises. Uh-huh. We sure did have some surprises, that's for sure. So, word of advice for people out there. If you're going to borrow something, you should probably at least tell the person you're borrowing it from, right? So that they know. And when you're done with it, you should probably give it back. Right? Hopefully this trail I'm going to ride back brighten my spirits a little bit. Not hopefully, it will. It will. So, now's a good time to tell you that I've decided that the new format for the channel will be one long form video, pre-recorded like I'm doing today, per week, and that I'm going to attempt to go live once a week to talk about, I don't know, whatever comes to mind, I guess. I mean, I do have some things that I want to talk about, like, you know, bikes, of course, ancestry. I figure I could go over my family tree, DNA results, all that stuff. Right? Talk about finding my mother's adopted, well, not adopted, but her birth father. Yes, my mother was adopted by the woman who was, in real life, her aunt. And the lady she grew up thinking was her aunt was her mother. So they were sisters, obviously. And we'll go into that whole story and how I figured out who her birth father was, and some surprising connections. There is a little bit of a, I guess you would say, spiritual aspect to it. Again, I'm not a big proponent of paranormal belief, but you know, there is in this story, I don't know, there was, I suspect I could have been influenced by my great-grandmother, previously unknown to me. Hello. That guy was serious. Man, oh man. I had music going. I said hello to him. He didn't even acknowledge me. Man, oh man. Talk about being a serious road warrior. Trail warrior. Whatever. I don't understand why people can't be more civil on the trails. A lot of people are. There are a lot of people that are, but there's some of these guys who mean business. Something else. They are all about heart rates and It'll, how many wattages they're putting out. Right? How many watts am I doing? Who cares, dude? Just ride your freaking bike. You know? What are you trying out for the Tour de France at fucking 60 years old? Shut up and ride your bike. You know? I do swear sometimes, I know. It's not very Santa-like. Sometimes I drop the occasional F-bomb. Some days it's more than others. I really love how this trail fills out in the summertime. Now in the fall, you come down this trail and you're gonna see there's rabbits everywhere. They just line up and down the trail. Big ones, big wild rabbits. Man, it's like all year round this trail is really good. Except for when it snows. I've never been on the trail after a snowfall. But, you know, can't imagine it's easily passed through. I mean, just look at this. So compare, like, the video I did about the Canalway Trail earlier in the spring, where I talked about, you know, don't pet the beavers. Everybody, not everybody, but some people have seen that because they have beavers in these waters. They're not supposed to mess with the beavers at all. But, you know, you compare what this is now to what it was then. It's all filled in, all green, all beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful back then too, but, you know, it's just really, really nice. You know, all it takes is a little bit of riding, a little bit of talking, and I'm feeling better about my life already. Make plans for the future. Sit here and think about it. Pedaling my butt off. You don't really like, you know, I don't know. I get into the zone a little bit and I'm not really thinking about I like the bike ride, but I'm not thinking about pedaling the bike or riding the bike itself. You know what I mean? Sounds funny, but when I'm out on the bike ride, I'm not really thinking about the actual act of riding the bike. Till I go up a hill, and then I'm thinking about it, that's for sure. But it allows me time to think. I'm pumping oxygen into my brain. I'm alert. Checking my mirrors, checking behind me, you know. Looking at the trail up ahead, looking at my surroundings. If I could switch my camera, that'd be great. I tell you, if you don't own a bike, you should. Especially if you're retired, getting ready to retire. Can we catch him? Can we catch him, you think? He's got a mountain bike, I don't know. I don't know. But I've got a sequel. I've got to jam a sequel. I can do anything on this bike. I can go anywhere. I can do anything on this bike right here. I'm looking at another James too. Like I said, I've got the Renegade S3. I think I want an aluminum one. I was over at the Mad Dog Bicycle Shop looking at the Ventura. It's a road bike. It's aluminum. And the drivetrain's like a 2x. My Renegade's a 2x, but I really like the 1xs. I don't know what it is. It's just simpler, you know? It's just easier. And so the Renegade A1 LTD, getting ready to go down the hill. That Renegade LTD, A1 LTD, is aluminum. I don't know, I'm thinking it's gonna be really light. It's a 1x, it's 1x9, like this one. And I'm thinking I'm gonna look into getting one of those. I really want to settle on a bike that I can take over to England. Because I'm coming England, I'm coming UK. No doubt about it. I'm gonna go to the UK, visit my ancestors. Going to the UK, visit my ancestors, and look at stuff. So, like the cemetery I was at earlier, that I just happened to come across, that was established in 1801, right? And I'm like flipping out about it. I'm like, wow, 1801. And here it is just by the side of the road, and nobody knows this place is here, and wow. Listen. They've got Saxon churches over in the UK that are 1,000 years old. I'm flipping out about a 200-year-old cemetery. I can't wait to get over there. I'm gonna eat fish and chips. I'm gonna go see and do what I want to do. That's it. That's what I'm doing. Wood there. Wow. Despite me not accomplishing my goal today, life is funny. Adventures are funny. You start off by thinking you're doing one thing, and then you run into something else completely different. Waterford Public Pool here. Off to the left here. Yeah. It was a great ride. It's just a beautiful ride. Oh. Get across this. I'm gonna go into the I'm gonna veer off into the locks here just to see what's what. Wow. Yeah, so we're back in Waterford. This is the old canal system here. As you can see, there's a lot of like big stones that fell off the side that are in here. Yeah. And that heads out to the newer system. This is the new canal lock. These are the old ones. It's kind of a bypass here. Yeah. So, you know, like I said, so we didn't really accomplish our goal today, but you know, it is what it is. I had fun riding that trail. I love that trail. I love seeing like all the history. We found that cemetery next to Route 4. I'm gonna look up on Find a Grave and see if that's there. That's crazy. Drove by that I don't know how many times, but yeah. So, well, if you like the video, then go ahead and like the video, and if you feel like subscribing, then by all means, please do so. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm gonna see you next adventure. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 8 o'clock, and you know what that means. Time for another live stream with Santa Claus. And that's me. That's right. All right. Time for another stream. All right, we got a lot of things to talk about tonight. We got a lot of things to do. We're going to talk about Santa Claus. That's right. I was playing some Santa Claus, some Christmas music. And yeah, we're going to talk about Santa Claus, how I became Santa Claus, how you can become Santa Claus, right? And let's see, what else we got? We're going to go over some interesting things. We're going to go over World Cup scores. We're going to go over something interesting I saw in the world of baseball. And let's see, what else do we got? I don't know. We're just going to talk about stuff, right? We're going to talk about stuff. What we got? FIFA World Cup, baseball stuff. Halloween stuff. I heard there's Halloween decorations out already. That's crazy to me. Halloween decorations. I suppose it's not that crazy, right? Because, we see Christmas stuff pretty early, don't we? So, and I don't complain about that. So I don't know why I would be complaining about Halloween stuff. I shouldn't be. So I guess I'm not really complaining, right? So anyways. So let's get started with some news. First of all, how is everybody? How's everybody doing? Give a thumbs up. If you like what you're about to see, then go ahead and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, like, share, all that stuff. We'll get that out of the way now. I don't ask for it probably as much as I should, I guess. I don't know. I'm told that I should be like every time I'm on camera, whether it's like a pre-recorded thing for YouTube or what, I should be asking for people's subscription and for a thumbs up and stuff. But I tend to not do that because I don't know. I just don't. Now, I have my air conditioner going on in the back because it's 90 billion degrees out. So hopefully you're not hearing that too much. But anyways, so I hope everybody's doing all right. It's Thursday night. We had a FIFA match last night. We had the United States took on Bosnia-Herzegovina last night. And let me see here. Let's see if I can get this correct. Yes, there we go. And there we go. 2-0. United States wins. That's great, right? The United States won. We're moving on to what we would probably call the Sweet 16, right? I'm not quite sure. Like, I think the European, they call it just like, the Champion 16 or the something 16 or the round of 16 or like, because this one is called like the round of 32. I'm pretty sure they just call it like FIFA just calls it the round of 16, which what fun is that, right? America, we call tournaments like this. You get down to the final 16, we call that the Sweet 16, baby, right? So America's moving on. I'm not quite sure who they're going to be facing next. I think we find out tonight or tomorrow night. I think we find out tonight who they're going to be facing. Not quite sure. The one thing I did want to talk about was like, excuse me. The one thing I did, jeez Louise. The one thing I wanted to talk about was the red card that was handed out. There was a red card that was handed out. And I think that's pretty ridiculous of the referee. I think this, do I dare say it? Do I just dare say it? European referee. I think he's European. Not quite sure. I don't really care where he's from, but All the experts on the analyst desk thought at most it was a yellow card and that it was an accident. But you take the highest scorer. What is his name? Florian Balagan, right? Uh, he's our highest scorer on the team. He's like our number one scorer, and they just willy nilly hand him out a red card like it's nothing. So yeah, and there's a bunch of memes going around, like people calling on Trump to have ICE arrest the guy and deport him and stuff like that. But so that's pretty funny. Anyway, so yeah, that happened. So we won. We're moving on to the Sweet 16. I'm not quite sure, like I said, who we're going to be facing yet. But that'll happen on Monday. So Monday, I might be streaming. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I would love to play, if it's nice out, I would love to like stream this game out in my yard and just put up a camera just to stream. And I'm going to watch the game. I can't really rebroadcast the game because I'll get copyright strike for it. So, I mean, I'll do what I can. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. I'll figure it out. So we shall see about that. Let's see. What else do we got going on? So the other thing I wanted to talk about was something that I saw earlier today. I was at work and something I came across. I saw it on the phone and I looked it up and I saw this guy named Jacob Mizorowski, Jacob Mizorowski from the Milwaukee Brewers. This is baseball, everybody, right? This kid, I guess, throws the hardest record pitch by a starter. And I just wanted to get everybody's reaction. I'm going to react to this. And I don't know. I'm a little scared. I don't know. How does somebody hit a pitch that is 105 miles? I wouldn't even I would be like, nope, I'm done for the day there, folks. Somebody threw a ball by me at 105 miles an hour. No, no, nope. No, thank you. Let's see here. All right, let's play this here. Hopefully everybody can hear that. That's the kid right here. He looks like he's barely out of high school, right? Isn't it weird? Miss around and find out. Let's skip forward here until he's like facing a batter here. All right, here we go. This is it here. Okay. There we go. Let's skip around. Hopefully, like Major League Baseball doesn't like hit me with a copyright strike or something. Let's see this. What is this kid going to do here? Boop. What was that? 103 miles an hour. 103 miles an hour. That's crazy. I can't even imagine that. This kid throws harder than this. What? 104. 104. What? That's crazy. Wow. Let's see. What else we got? I don't know if he can throw it hard. Apparently he does, right?
And you don't have as hot a hitter in baseball, really, as Pete Crow Armstrong, who is
105.
trying to catch up to the heat right now. 105, and that draws an ooh and ah from the crowd.
I bet it did. I bet lots of people were going ooh ah. Now I don't. Look at this guy. Look at this guy here. Look at this guy enjoying his hot dog. What a shot right there. Look at that. It's like, yeah, this guy ain't gonna be able to hit this. I'm gonna eat my hot dog. I'm not even gonna bother watching this. Right? I think that's kind of what I'd be doing. If I was on one of these teams, I'd be saying, look, I'm gonna go grab a hot dog. I'll be back when this game's over. 105 miles an hour. 105 miles an hour. I don't even know. I don't even know what's the fastest pitch pitch ever thrown. I mean, it's got to be close, right? Don't you think? It's got to be close to the fastest pitch thrown. I would think so. Let's see. Let's see. How's this guy do further on here?
Normal swing. I mean, Pete Crow still has a leg kick. He's timed up. I mean, that's just barely.
Yeah, you can't even like catch up to the ball. Look at this. Oh, look at that. He got around on it. And looks like did he break his bat? It sounded like he broke the bat.
Everything over 100. Everything over 102 for that matter.
Oh my God. It's crazy.
It was touching 100 and the rest is history.
Got him.
I mean, how can you compete with something like that, you know, with somebody like that? How can you hit that? How is that even possible? How do you do that? I don't know. I don't know. That's something else. I bet you they weren't throwing that hard back in the day of like Babe Ruth and stuff. There's no way. I mean, they were probably throwing like 80 miles an hour or something like that. Something today that would be considered like a changeup. I don't know. Back on my non-alcoholic Heineken because alcohol is not good for me. All right. So today I wanted to spend some time talking to y'all about Santa Claus, right? Some of you may know that I have spent some time being Santa Claus. I do have a full video on it. If I can find, I will show it to you. Let me see. I'll just show it to you. We're not going to watch it. I'll just show it to you. Let's see. My channel. This is my channel. And so, all right, let me share my screen. All right. So it's right here, how I became Santa Claus, right? You can see my beard has been, I shaved it after the last Christmas season. So it's been slowly kind of filling back in. It should be ready by this coming Christmas, right? Let's go back a little bit. Let's see how long it's been. Yeah, so this was like one of the first ones that this was back in what, February, something like that. I don't know. Anyways, this is my video. You can see here, like, here, let me just click on it here and see. Let me see here if I can find some pictures. Yeah, this is thrilling content there, Santa Fred. Yeah. Good stuff. And
there was like elves running around. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, so you see, like, this is, I don't know if you can really see it. You guys should be able to see this, but this is from a place that I used to work, Winter Time Wonderland. And I was one of the Santa Clauses there. And yeah, this is me before I decided to lose weight. And I actually have these clothes with me to show y'all some of the outfits that I have, because we're going to talk about like some of the things you potentially need to be Santa Claus. Some of the things you can kind of get away with, other things that you probably shouldn't get away with. Let me see here. Let's see. Is this going to cooperate? Let me find out. I'll switch to this. Hello? Here we go. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. I'll save this till we start talking here. All right. So, Santa Claus. Here's my story in a nutshell. Okay. I used to work at a haunted attraction, and I did for many years. It started off with just me trying to find something for me and my son to do. He was 13ish, 12, 13ish. And so I thought maybe we could find something to do together. And wow, the my my air conditioner's apparently having a conniption over there. But well, we'll see how this goes. So we were trying to like figure out some stuff for us to do together. And one of the things that I had found was this advertisement on Craigslist for like a haunted attraction. And I had been looking at this and I had talked to him about it. I was like, hey, do you want to work in like a, I figured it was going to be like somebody's backyard or something, like a backyard haunt or something, because they looked kind of cool. I didn't think that we were going to be getting into as big as an operation as we ended up getting into. So we worked for a place called the Field of Horrors. Horrors. And so the deal was, it was like their second season open. And I remember that I was hired to be a paid actor. My son at the time, because they were new, what they were doing was, because it was still kind of like a semi-professional kind of, kind of thing. If they were, they could hire kids to work, right? But they couldn't be paid. It'd have to be volunteer. So the deal that I worked out with my son was that him and I would both work, right? And I would just, me getting paid, I would just split my paycheck with him. And that way he would earn some money and that kind of thing. So we did that. So I did that for about 6 years. And my son Joshua was kind of like off and on for a few years. And one year, one of the managers, her name is Lisa, who still is there and like one of the head honchos over there. She got a job. She got hired to hire the actors for a Christmas theme attraction. So she put out a notice on Facebook to all of the scare actors, right? And said, hey, look, I've got this thing. It's Christmas themed. And if you think maybe you might want to extend your season a little bit further, we're hiring people. And I could really use some experienced actors to come in and not have to like train people how to be performers, right? And so I met up with her. We were at the fields and I pulled her aside and I said, so what's the deal with this thing? And she's like, oh, well, we're hiring people. And I remember asking her, I was like, what, like, do you need like Santa Clauses or something? And at this time, there was no beard. I was always like clean shaven and my hair was always short and stuff. I got a hat head today, but, so my hair was always short, clean shaven. So I was just like, what do you need? Like a Santa Claus or something like that? She's like, no, we have Santa Clauses. But I could really use a snowman. Snowman. Okay. My first instinct was like, hell no, I ain't being no damn snowman, right? I'm like a scare actor. I just spent a whole season scaring the living holy bejesus out of everybody. And now you want me to be a happy, cheery snowman. And I was big back then too. I was like 300 pounds. You know what I mean? I was a 300 pounder. Easy. And, but it was Lisa, and Lisa had always treated us well. And if she said that, listen, Lisa was one of these people. Okay. If she said, if you're working for Lisa and she tells you she's going to take care of something, you just you take it as gospel. That's it. It's going to get taken care of. She's just one of those people, right? She takes care of you. She makes sure, like, to accommodate what you need as best she can. Um, within the parameters of what she has to get done, because she still has to run a show, right? So, um, let me just cut this for 1 second. I'm gonna cut my air conditioner here. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Okay. I turned the air conditioner off, put a little fan on. I don't need a big air conditioner going on in the background. This fan's fine. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, so Lisa's just one of these people that if she tells you it's going to get taken care of, as I hit my mute button here. It's a new microphone. They have this mute button on this thing. I don't know if you can see it. See this thing? All you got to do is press it lightly. Now you can hear me. So, all right. Anyway, so I got a bunch of stuff I got to learn how to. Like that. I got to learn not to mess with this. Okay. So when I grab it, I'm going to grab it like this so I don't hit the button. So, yeah, like I said, Lisa, if she tells you it's going to get taken care of, it's going to get taken care of. That's it. And so I trusted her to not like be wasting my time, right? She wouldn't do that. So we had set up a date where everybody came in. We all did our paperwork. We all, did our stuff. We met the owner. Long story on that. There's a long story behind this whole thing that the whole place is shut down now due to some nefarious activities, but had nothing to do with Lisa. Lisa is completely fault-free on this. So, Lisa, if you're ever watching this, just know that I know that you are good, right? So, so we showed up, we did our paperwork, and we did a quick run through of like who's gonna be doing what, where do you stand. We did like our little rehearsals and stuff. We were kind of used to this from the Field of Horrors, and it was funny because it was a funny mix of people who were there specifically to work the Christmas thing, and they didn't come from the Field of Horrors with us, so they weren't scare actors, having to mingle with the rest of us who had just come off a Halloween and were like primed, right? We were tired because it's a long season and you're exhausted at the end of the scare season. You are at the end of Halloween season, you're exhausted, right? Because you just put everything you have into the performance working there. So we were tired, but we were ready to go because this was something new, and it, you didn't have to run around screaming and yelling at people. So like all I had to do was it's like, all you want me to do is wear this dumb snowman suit. Okay. All right. So I put the suit on for rehearsal. I don't know if you've ever seen these snowman helmets. They're these big round things that kind of fit over your head. There's no ventilation in it. Later on, they adjusted that. I think they got fans or something to go on the inside of these things. But this thing was just obnoxious. And long story short, by the end of the night, I had told Lisa, I was like, I'm not going to do this. I think I'm just going to call it quits because it was early enough where she should have been able to find somebody else to wear this stupid costume. And she did find somebody because when I said, well, I'm just not going to, I don't want to do this. This thing is killing me. Because I was sweating and you couldn't breathe in the thing. And it was just obnoxious, just really obnoxious. And so she said to me, well, I just had a Santa Claus quit. Do you want to try and be Santa Claus? And because it's Lisa and her and I get along so well, I said, sure. I will try to be Santa Claus for you. Right. And again, I go over this whole story in my journey to becoming Santa Claus video, if you ever get to see that. But you should. If you have if you have thought about it, if you're retired, especially if you're retired, we'll get into this now, right? And if you really want to hear the rest of the story of how I became Santa Claus and stuff, you can go back and watch that video. I go through the whole thing and I talk about all the stuff I had to go through and all the things that I learned right off the bat and all the things that it was just I had to learn a lot of stuff. There was a steep learning curve on it. It's not as easy as you would think, but it's easier than you think to get into, right? But there's a lot to it. So what are some of the things that you're going to need for Santa Claus? Say you're retired. You want to grow a beard. If you don't have a beard, I would suggest that you try to grow a beard before you go for one of these. The Santa community, and there is a Santa community. Trust me, there's a whole underground of professional Santa Clauses out there. You can find them on websites called the biggest one out there, the most, I would say, prestigious one, the one that's most respected. It's called ClausNet. And that's where all the pro Santa Clauses hang out. Not to but sometimes, look, we've all seen these guys on Facebook, Craigslist, around especially when Christmas season is coming up, right? We've all seen these guys who show up with the fake beards, even though, all right. So to be nice, the real bearded Santa Claus, they don't call them fake beards. We don't call them fake bearded Santa Claus. We call them designer bearded Santa Clauses, just to kind of be nice. I don't see the difference, but whatever. So they want to call them designer beards. I'll call them designer beards. It doesn't matter. I wore a fake beard when I first started because I didn't have a beard. But what I would suggest, the first thing, if you're thinking about in your retirement, picking up a gig as a Santa Claus, right? And there are gigs you can get. There used to be agencies when the mall Santa Claus was a big thing. Now it's not such a big thing, right? Because malls are closing all over. There's no call for it. There's no need for it, right? Because malls are closing. So there used to be agencies, these kind of Santa talent agencies that would hire Santa Clauses to go to malls. Excuse me. It's been a long day. And so you used to have to sign up for the agency. And so say I live here in upstate New York. I could be if I got a contract in some mall out in what is it, Kenosha, Wisconsin? I don't even know. Somewhere out, Kalamazoo, Michigan. I don't know. Someplace way out somewhere else needed a mall Santa Claus, right? They would say, we need somebody, and we'll put them up. So usually go out there for like 8 weeks or something like that. And they put you in a hotel and you're the mall Santa Claus for the 2 weeks. And you can make pretty decent money back then. It was, between 10, 15 grand for that 8 weeks, which if you're retired living on Social Security is a lot of money, right? That's changed a lot now because malls are closing. Like I said, there's no need for a mall Santa Claus. You do see them some places, right? There are some mall Santa Clauses out there. Some guys that are still, hooking up them sweet gigs. But for the most part, if you want to be a Santa Claus and make money in retirement, you got to hustle a little bit, right? Now, there are a lot of Santa Clauses that do a lot of volunteer work. Ever since Wintertime Wonderland closed down, I have not taken any money. People have given me money. They stuff money in my pocket. I don't want them to do that. And if I've worked for you before and you've done that, just know that I've given that money to other people. I give this stuff away, right? Because I don't want to be, if I want pay, I'll ask for pay, right? If I'm volunteering for your organization, then I'm volunteering. Okay. So I do, like, ever since I left Wintertime Wonderland when it closed down, I do like, I do a library. I do American Legion Post. I did the Polish American Club last year. I've done the German Club. I've done, I am missing somebody. Oh, I do the Winter Festival up in Altamont, New York. And there's other things too that I volunteer to do. I'll do like private parties, but they're for friends, so I don't like charge anything, right? I'm not trying to be getting money for it. I made pretty good money at Wintertime Wonderland. The last season that I did it for them, they were paying me $30 an hour. And I was working on top of my regular job that I was working 40 hours. I was putting in an easy 30 hours a week being Santa Claus when we were going full swing. This Wintertime Wonderland was this whole like big indoor theme park. I wonder if I can pull up that. Let me see if I can pull it up. There was a video and I'm in it. Let me see. Wonderland. This was when it was in Latham, New York. Right. Let me pause that. Do this. Go over here. Share my screen. All right. So this is going to be me as Santa Claus in, I don't know how many years ago was this. I don't know. How many years ago was this? This was 4 years. No, this is more than 4 years ago. This is way more than 4 years ago. So they must have reposted this. Wintertime Wonderland. This is way more than 4 years ago because I've been doing Santa Claus for 6 years now. 6 years? I think it's been 6 years since I've been doing it. Yeah. Yeah. So let's watch it.
Looking for a new holiday tradition? Take your family to an unforgettable experience at Wintertime Wonderland.
Chubby old me.
Parade past Santa's Village. Glide through a frosty ice maze. Wander down Candy Cane Alley. Enter a life-size gingerbread house.
Here's Mrs. Claus.
And meet Mr. Claus
Not related.
himself. And
That's me.
stop you-know-who from stealing Christmas with his pal Max. Wintertime Wonderland. Sure to melt the heart of any Scrooge.
There you go. That was Wintertime Wonderland. That's where we worked. And they had, this was, I don't know if this was the first year, but they had changed it to be there was still the walkthroughs, right? So you could walk through the mazes and stuff, but then they got like all of these rides. And I don't know how many rides. There was 20 rides. They even had like an indoor, like little mini roller coaster that they had. And so they went all in. But stuff happened, right? I'm not about the business of talking about other people's business, so I'm not going to do that. If you really want to find out, you can Google it and figure out what happened to Wintertime Wonderland. Let's see. Yeah, so that was Wintertime Wonderland. So I was working there like 30 hours on top of my 40 hours for my state job. And yeah, they paid me pretty good. They paid me pretty good. It was not bad. So what can you expect as someone who's not done Santa Claus? Maybe you do have some experience being Santa Claus or a Christmas actor of some kind. No, nobody says you even have to be a Santa Claus. Say you're a woman and you want to be Mrs. Claus. You can do that. Or you want to work somewhere as an elf. You can do that. There's Santa Clauses who, I'm a member of what's called IBERBs. It's the International Brotherhood of Real Bearded Santas, right? And through them, we can get like insurance. And if like I did a DBA, doing business as Santa Fred of New York, over in Rensselaer County when I lived over in Rensselaer County. I live in Albany County now. But I could, under that DBA, right, hire people to work for me as, paid actors, right, as independent contractors, but I could cover them under a policy for me. Like, so at one point I was carrying a policy of $2 million as Santa Claus. Why? What? $2 million policy for what? Right. That's what my reaction would be. What the hell are you doing carrying a $2 million policy? Well, you'd be surprised at, like say you stepped on a child's toe by accident, right? Or I don't know, the kid sat on your lap and the parent says you did this just because, they want to sue you and get some money, right? Even though like through IBERBs, I get like a background check. So anytime I sign up for a new place, I always say, here's my background check. Here's my copy of my insurance. Boom. And then that instantly legitimizes me as, a professional Santa Claus. Even though I'm doing volunteer work, I still want them to know that, hey, I protect myself and I protect you. Okay. So I'm going to crack open another beer before I go on. Oh, man. So what you can do, the big thing that was going on in COVID, when COVID was going on and nobody was going out, was that there was a lot of Santa Clauses doing remote work. And so they would sign up through these agencies where they would do like a live stream, like what I'm doing right now, right? Only I'd be like, signed up, dressed up as Santa Claus. I'd be wearing, you could be wearing one of these, one of these things here, and you get on and the child signs on to the thing. And then you look at them and you talk to them and you go, oh, Timmy, what do you want for Christmas? Kind of thing. That's part of the suit that I'm going to show you. So we're going to go over that. It's like some of the equipment you probably should have. Some of the things there's some things you can do with and some things that you should go without. I'll say it that way. So you're retired. You're thinking about doing Santa Claus. First thing I would do is try and grow a beard. Number one, the children notice. They notice. They notice. They know. That's why I have like a nose hair trimmer and everything. Like I go, get up underneath there and everything. They notice. I bleach out my beard. I bleach my hair. I even bleach my eyebrows. Why? Because the children notice. They notice, right? Let me just try and find another picture of me. There's one of me and the Grinch. Oh my God. Yeah, see right here. This, you could say it. It doesn't look like me at all, right? It doesn't look like me. This thing does not look like me at all. Like this guy, right? But I was fatter, and yeah. But we had a lot of fun. That's the main thing. We had a lot of fun at this place. We did. It was great. We had a lot of fun, and it's too bad that it's not around anymore. And you know, a bunch of stuff happened. Lisa moved on. You know, when people start to leave an organization, the people that you trust start to leave an organization, and not that you couldn't trust people that were there, right? Because I did, right? But when the main people that were the reason for you being there, right? When they're the ones who are leaving, you got to think about, is it time for me to go too? Is it time? I don't know. Anyways, so if you're thinking about being a Santa Claus, I would just say first thing you should do is try and grow a beard. How do you grow a beard, Santa Fred? Look, I'll tell you. Ready? You listening? Close. I'm going to whisper it to you. Ready? Stop shaving. That's it. That's all you got to do is stop shaving. And I know some people are going to say, oh, my beard grows in patchy. Mine used to grow in patchy too. Mine grew in patchy. Like I don't grow, like I get like fuzz here and stuff like that. But up underneath here, there's some, some areas under here that could use a little bit of hair under there, but it's all covered up. I mean, like you can't really tell, especially when it's bleached like this here, right? You can't tell that, you can't tell, right? You can't tell that I have like bald spots under here, under that right there. There's no way. You can't. And so, that's the first thing I would do. If you're looking to get into it like quicker and you don't have time to grow a beard, then you think about a designer beard. Now, I say the kids notice, and they do. They do notice. But here's the thing. You can get away with a lot. You really can. So this here was, I've never even opened this up. Obviously, it's sealed still. But this came with a Santa suit that I purchased on Amazon. And it's got, as you can hear, it's got a little bell in there and stuff. I'm going to open this up right here for you so you can see what comes in these little bags. Because if you buy a suit off of Amazon or off of any one of these other sites, I have a site that I go to all the time that I'll show you. If you want a really like primo suit, but it's going to cost you money. And it might be, I mean, I've spent as much as $1,200 on a suit. Not going to lie. Not going to lie. And it's a suit. It's a Stars and Stripes suit, right? For I got it for, we were doing like a thank you night at Wintertime Wonderland for first responders. And I saw this thing and I was like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. Right. So I got it and I wore it once. $1,200. Wore it once. And now because I've lost all this weight, doesn't even fit me. I can't put that thing on. So I don't know, I got to figure out what to do with it. If anybody's out there that's interested, let me know. Right? Put it in the comments below. Hey, how much do you want? It's an extra large, but when Santa suits, extra large means like if you're like 6 foot 300 pounds or 300 pounds plus, you could wear this thing. I'm 6 feet tall, so the legs on it could be a little longer, I'll just say. But anyways. All right. So first things first, you get a bell. It's a bell, right? You get a bell. Put that over there out of this package here. We're going through the package now. These white gloves here they're a dime a dozen. You can go on Amazon and buy a pack of these for $10. There's 20 of them in it, 20 pairs, right? For $10, right? If you're going to do Santa Claus a lot, you will go through a ton of these because they get dirty so easily, right? Just picking up kids and like handling packages and handling, this, that, and the other thing. Sometimes people ask you to do like dog photos or something like that, and their dog's not the cleanest dog, it's been rolling in something, and they go, oh, sorry about that. But these gloves, you'll go through a ton of these. Okay. Usually you'll get like these little play glasses. I wear prescription glasses, so I can't wear these. And you know what's, I'm going to tell you a funny story. My first year of doing Wintertime Wonderland, when I was looking like this, I was saving this, but I'm just going to show it to you. See this right here? See this? I was looking like this. You see these glasses that I have on? Because I was wearing the fake beard the first. So this was before I started like growing my beard, right? And I'm going to just go through item by item on this. And I'll give you like the moral of the story afterwards, right? So when I was wearing the fake beard, the glasses, the toy glasses with the like cheap plastic frame lenses and cheap, they're like wire frame, cheap plastic lens. You put it on, and because it was during COVID, you saw, let me get this back up. You see this right here, what I'm wearing right there? That is a mask. That's a face mask that is supposed to look like Santa Claus's face. That's why it looks so weird, right? They got these things so as not to scare the children, because the county came in and said, the health department for the county came in and said, no, everybody's got to be. So we had like elves, the Santa Claus, everybody had to wear masks during COVID, right? I get it. COVID was a thing. I get it. People are going to say, well, you don't want to infect grandma. Okay. All right. Fine. I'm not going to argue about it. But anyways, so I'm not. So this thing right here, right, was the mask. So not only was I wearing a beard, but I was wearing that dumb mask too. So I had like the fake glasses on. Now I wear prescription glasses. I have bifocals, right? And so I couldn't see through the plastic. These are like the story time glasses, right? You want to like, I don't know if you can see these things. They're supposed to be like storybook glasses for Santa Claus. They make you look a little. I have pairs that I have now that are like, they're my reading prescription, right? And they're about like half the size of a regular glass, and they look like little, like little toy maker glasses that I have. I don't have them out now. They're stuffed away somewhere, but my problem was that I had the beard on, the mask on, and these stupid fake glasses on. But the glasses were steaming up. We all been there during COVID, right? You had to wear the mask and your glasses would steam up, right? So you know what I did for this? This was my big solution to this whole thing was these are just the frames. There's no glasses in them. I took the glasses out. I couldn't see anything, but it was better than having fogged glasses in front of you, right? And so here was the moral of the story for this, right? Is that the children didn't care. They didn't care. They were just happy to see Santa Claus, right? But the parents appreciate when you go that extra mile. Okay. All right. So here we have, this would be the beard and the wig. I don't have any knife here. Oh, look at that. All right. Beard and wig. Now, if you're just, listen, here's my pet peeve. If you have a beard, all right, if you have a beard, don't think a fake beard's going to look any better than your real beard. If you have a beard, it doesn't matter if it's like this is small for what I used to have a beard that was like out to here, right? If it's just this size, it's fine. It's fine. It is fine. Trust me. You're fine. And please, I'm going to say it. Please, I'm going to show you the beard. Here's the beard. How do I know this is the beard? Because apparently it's not the beard. This is the beard. Right? Here's the beard. Okay. This goes on over your head like this. This will go on over your head, just like this. Right? Right? And then you can comb it out. You can do all sorts of stuff, right? 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 And then they have the wig, right? And you can tell the front, because the front's got like the head, the bangs on it and stuff. Right? So put this on. Now all of a sudden you're, Santa Claus. Sort of, right? And then you put on the hat and it looks a little better, right? It's not too bad, right? Let's see. It's not bad. Not bad. Look, I'm just going to say, if you can grow a beard, grow a beard. Right? Instead of this thing. And I'll tell you why. A couple reasons why. Yes, these are convenient, right? You can get by with one of these. You can get by. Look, my first year, like I just showed you, I was wearing the designer beard, right? I did it for the whole season. I can tell you by the end of the first week of December, I had decided that I was going to grow my beard, and I had started, right? And it was the first time I was like determined to grow a beard. I had always just shaved, right? And you can get by with one of these, right? The children will love you. Trust me, the children are going to love you. All right. This is fine. It's fine. Because in their heads, they know. Here's the secret. In their heads, they know that you're not the real Santa Claus. So you think, and I fell for this too, you think that the children are here to see you because you're Santa Claus, because they think you're Santa Claus. No. No, 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 no. They do not think you are Santa Claus. They think that you are one of Santa's helpers. And that the real Santa has all these strange men posted around the world during the Christmas time to, bring cheer to the kids and to get their lists and to, do some of his work for him because there's so many kids around the world. The real trick becomes this. Here's the challenge. Can you get that child who has showed up thinking that you're just some nice old man who is helping Santa out? Can you get them to think just for an instant, just for a split second, is he the real Santa Claus? Is this guy the real Santa Claus? This may be the real Santa Claus. And if you, and especially if they ask you, wait a minute, are you the real Santa Claus? And there's things you can do to kind of bring that about. But I can tell you what. I can tell you something for sure. You will never hear that wearing one of these. Ever. Ever. Now, they make these that you could buy some that look absolutely real, right? And they're made out of like yak hair or something. I don't know what the hell they're made out of. What the heck they're made out of, but they're made out. There's some very professional Santas out there. They don't have beards. They buy these designer beards, but they're like hand stitched and all sorts of stuff, right? And they don't look like this. They look like real beards. They put them on, and then they got the glue, and they put the glue on their face. It's like a makeup kind of glue, I don't know exactly, like prosthetics glue or something. And they glue it to their face. So even if the child like yanks on their beard, it's a real beard, right? And some of these beards are like fantasy beards, right? Like people who grow beards like fantasize about having a beard like this. So what else? I think that's it, right? It's the bell, the gloves, the fake glasses, the beard, and the wig. So here's the other thing. If you have a beard, I've seen this done. Drove me nuts, right? That's the other thing. Like, not to be snobbish about it or to be like one of those Santas, right? But if you really get into it, right, you're going to be critiquing, and you shouldn't do this, but you will compare yourself to other Santa Clauses and compare those Santas, what they're wearing, what they're doing, this, that, and the other thing. And you really, like some of these guys that have been doing it for 40 years, some of these really high-end professional, some of these Coca-Cola Santas, right? Some of these guys, you really feel inadequate around. Not even around, like watching them on YouTube or something like that. Like, we're going to watch a quick video about Santa school. And you can go to school to learn how to be a Santa Claus. It's perfectly legitimate. People do it all the time, right? And it's a great way to learn how to be a Santa Claus. Absolutely. I learned by doing it, right? But I had the advantage of working at the Field of Horrors with Lisa and the rest of the crew over there for many years before I even did this. So the whole performance aspect of being Santa Claus came pretty natural to me. All right, get rid of that. Oh, wait a second. I had to make a point. Here's my point. I've seen this done. You have a beard. Please never do this. I don't care if you're bald. I don't care if you're bald. Look, I don't care if you're bald. I don't care. You see this? How ridiculous does this look? Huh? Huh? How ridiculous does this look? Please don't ever do this. Don't wear this if you have a real beard. Just look, if you're gonna bleach your beard, bleach your hair. You know? Okay. Oh, the other thing that will come with your there's one more thing that will come with your suit. Now, this is where we're going to start getting into, should I upgrade? Well, if it's your first year, I would say there's one thing that you absolutely should upgrade. This isn't really it. But you get one of these. Now, it's very nice as far as something that's made out of I don't even know, some kind of plastic. I don't even know what it's made out of. But and the belt buckle's got some weight to it, you know, and it's very decorative. You see all that? It's nice, right? But this is cheap. This stuff right here. And if it lasts you a season, you'll be lucky. You see these ringlets right here, these eyes right there, those things, they rip out like really easy. And then once those go, then the rest of it goes. It'll tear on you. I'm going to show you something. I'll show you that picture again. You see this right here? Now, if you look down here, you see this? Right there. It's ripped. And I had a ripped belt that first season, like halfway through the season. And we didn't have any of the belts really to use. And so I had to go through the whole season with a ripped belt. Now, this wasn't my suit. This wasn't my beard. These belong to Wintertime Wonderland. So look. If you're going to do this, I would say, look, you can buy the cheap one, the cheap suit for your first year, right? And see if you're going to like it. You may like it, you may not. But you're going to want to upgrade your suit, your belt, your boots pretty and probably grow a beard, right? If you catch the bug like I did, you're going to want to grow your beard out because there's going to be something about having that real beard that sells the whole thing. It's really, I can't overstate it enough. There's very few Santas out there that invest money into these designer beards that are good enough to fool children. These are the top guys. Now, I'm saying this, but these are the top guys in the industry. All right. There are some names out there of some top guys that can pull this off. Not everybody can. Trust me. And you're definitely not going to do it with one of those things, right? And we're talking like you're talking like $800 just for the beard, just to get a beard that's going to be good enough to fool somebody, right? So one of the things that you're going to want to upgrade quite quickly is the belt. And I have, what did I do with it? Oh, it's right here. This is mine. This is my belt. And this is leather. This is leather. This is a heavy belt. You see this big brass belt buckle. I even have my little magic key. See that? You see it? Come on, let you see it. There it goes. Right there. That's my key, right? And I hang it off the side of my belt, right? And the children love this thing. They want to like, is that your magic key? Yeah, it's my magic key. You can't have it. How does it work? Elf magic. Elf magic is the answer to a lot of things. So you want to grab, you can go online and grab these belts, right? And like I said, we're going to go over, I'll show you a site that I frequent to buy my stuff. And as far as a suit goes, I brought out all this stuff to show you guys. I've got to get this. I got to get this like tailored down because I lost so much weight. This is my suit. One of them. The only one. Well, it's really the only one that really fits me. This is a large and it's too big. And it's dry cleaning only. I get this one from planetsanta.com. This is wool. This is a real wool suit, right? With fur that feels real, right? It's fake, but and the buttons on it have the reindeer on it. I added this little candy cane button on there, right? So you can like accessorize these, and the children love this stuff. They look at it and they go, oh. So this is what I'm talking about. Like when you get to the point where the child looks at you and goes, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Is this guy the real? Who am I looking at here, right? It's the little things like this. Now, this suit is not cheap, okay? This was like $700, this suit. And I have another one that's the exact same but it's way too big. Way too big. So I have a bunch of suits that I can't wear anymore because they're too big on me. So if anybody's out there looking for a suit, maybe you want to give Santa Claus a try, please hit me up. Please hit me up. All right. I don't even know that I necessarily want money for these. As long as I know it's going to somebody who could use it, I'm good. But that's another suit that's got to be tailored. And you don't even have to necessarily buy suits, right? I'll show you something else. Here is a vest that I had bought, right? And it's got like the belt loops on it for the belt to go through. So you wear this as like a waistcoat, right? You put the belt through here. It's got the little, I don't know if you can see the buttons on here, the little Santa Claus buttons, right? And you wear like a frilly kind of shirt underneath it or something. And you wear the belt on here. And you combine that with, look at these here. Do you know what these are? You may think these are Santa Claus pants. No, they're not. They're golfing pants that come up like just below the knee, right? You see that? They're kind of cut off at the bottom here, right? But they're long enough, just long enough to tuck into your boots. And I have a red pair and I have a green pair. And I use these all the time when I was working at Wintertime Wonderland. All the time I used them. And I had other vests that I would exchange. You know, I had a combination. I could go 2 weeks without wearing the same suit. No lie. No lie. The other thing I've got, okay, so the other thing that I wanted to say, talking about tucking those things into your boots. All right, listen. The other thing that's going to come in the package with the suit are these boot covers. Now, I had talked about before that there's a bunch of things that you could like get away with, including like the beard and the wig and stuff, right? There's one thing that you absolutely cannot get away with. All right. And that is the boot cover. These things look so cheap. Do not, please, I'm imploring you, if you're going to go the route of buying a cheap Santa suit, okay? The one thing I would say is don't cheap out on your boots. That is I'm telling you, it is the first thing that is going to throw off the children is your boots. I'm telling you, it's going to be that they look at you for some reason. They are fixated on your boots because they see these things all the time. So what this is just you put your shoe on. So hopefully you have black shoes and not like tennis shoes, like black boots or something like that. The first year I used these my first year, but I had a pair of black Timberlands that I was using. So they kind of blended in on this, right? It kind of looked all right, but it was still not good, right? And so you slip these on over your shoes, and then this kind of hooks underneath your heel there, and it's supposed to like mimic a boot for Santa Claus. Don't do it. I implore you, please, for the love of the children, do not do that. Ay. Let's see. Gotta check something here. Okay. Don't do that. Instead, you should be doing something like this. I got these from Carolina. These are from the Carolina Boot Company. Right? See? It's a heavy kind of leather. I bought these bells. They're like Velcro bells I put around the outside of them. And so I put these on and my pants go inside of here. And when I walk, it jingles, right? And this is all you need. This is it. Now these were a couple $100 because they're like real leather, I've had these for 5 years now. Every season I wear these. Every season. And they've held up like remarkably. Wore these through Wintertime Wonderland. And I wear these still when I go on my volunteer stuff. So, yeah. And it's versatile too. I can wear these with the vest and the golfing pants, or I could wear these with the regular suits, you know. So that's the one thing that I would say that you can't cheap out on. If you're going to cheap out on a suit, that's fine. Get a real boot. Get a real boot. The number one thing. And you can buy like, see how this has like the fur over it? Like you could even use something like this where you could like snip this, right? And slip this on the inside of the boot and then fold this over the outside of it, and you would have fur-lined boots. And the kids love that. Kids love that. When you have the fur on the boots and the jingle bells, what, are you kidding me? I'm telling you. And that's what like gets them to think like, what am I looking at here? Am I looking at the real Santa Claus? And if you can hit that, if you can get them to think that, you're in, buddy. You're in. So that's kind of the rundown of the gear. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them. The other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to watch this real quick. Well, no, before we leave gear, I wanted to go over the website that I use. All right. I am not sponsored by these guys, right? But they've always treated me perfectly. I've never had a problem. I've never had to return anything. I've never had any issues with payments or anything, right? I've never had a problem with this website. All right. This is planetsanta.com. And if my suggestion is, if you're going to be serious, if you want to be serious about being Santa Claus, go here and look. Just go here and look. You don't have to spend a lot of money. If you're looking to make money, right? They always say you got to spend money to make money, right? And if you're going to charge to be a Santa Claus, you got to be good, and you got to look good, and you got to make sure that you got all your T's crossed and all your I's dotted, right? And this website's going to help you do that. So even here, like the footwear, they even have footwear here. Okay. Now it's not cheap. They do have some cheap stuff here, and you can get these Naugahyde boot covers, tops if you wanted to. I wouldn't. You can get the double buckle Santa boots. These are like the pirate themed boots. These are pretty cool, right? But a lot of guys just do this. They're wide top, so you don't really have to worry about too much. These are nice long hair Santa boots. These are only $23.99. That's pretty good. Let me look at this. I don't know what it. Oh, so it's like a rubber boot. But listen, it's the fur on it. It's the fact that you don't have boot covers on. The kids are going to love these. The kids will love these boots. $24? What are you kidding me? $24? That's cheap. That's cheap to get into a pair of boots. Let's see what else we got. All right, let's look at the Santa suits. All right. Now, this is what I mean. But you can catch sales here. I have one of these suits. I have this suit. Right? And it is a beautiful suit. Look at this. I have this suit. This is a gorgeous suit to get into. $200. $200. And the kids are gonna love it. Trust me. Now here's a guy with this is a designer beard. He's showing off a designer beard, this guy right here. That guy's got a designer beard on. I can tell. That's not his real beard. I wonder if they sell those here. I think they do. Hold on a second. Let me look at it. I have this suit. This one right here. I've got this suit. This is a beautiful, beautiful. This is what they call a Coca-Cola suit. This one has the buttons down the front. So many, many years ago, when Santa Claus first became the spokesperson for Coca-Cola, during Christmas time, they had a certain suit that they would do. It was like a red suit, bottom fur trim, and then buttons down the front. I didn't think he had a collar at that point, but they've since added collars and stuff like that. But that's what they call these. The button down the front is the Coca-Cola suits. The other ones with the fur down the front are called traditional suits. right? Let's see. I have. Oh no, I don't have one of these. Is this the traditional wool? This looks like a long length. Top quality wool suit. Wow, what are the size? Medium? $7.99 for a medium, huh? What did I say I had? Large? It's a large. Oh, gotta mute it. Okay. Very nice. Anyways, so it doesn't cost. The point is, just joking around. I didn't order anything. I should have. But you can get away with a lot of different things, right? You can get away with a lot of different looks. Like, look at this. Overalls like this. The kids love it. And they won't even ask. Listen, the children won't even ask why you're not in your suit. And if they do, all you got to do is say, because my suit's being cleaned and repaired for this Christmas. They love this stuff. I have overalls. I have overalls that are like white and red striped. They love this stuff. All right. Anyways, Planet Santa. I wanted to see if they had beards here. I'm sorry. Glasses, bellies. Oh, they have bellies here. Jesus. Yeah, fat suits. Oh, they got a cooling vest. Oh my God. What? See, I didn't know they had these. Cooling vests. What is that supposed to be? You like you put ice in these bags? That's weird. I suppose if you're doing like Christmas in July or something, you could do that. They have the padded bellies. You can't say fat suits anymore, apparently. I used to be a fat suit. I'm not anymore. Let's see here. Made in the USA. Let's find out. Okay, yeah. So this is like the wool suits. The wool suits are made in the USA. Santa gloves. So here's an example of like the belt, right? This isn't my belt. My belt I got from a actual leather store online. But this is a leather belt. This is perfectly good for an upgrade. How much they want for it? It's $100, but it's leather and it's like a heavy brass belt buckle, right? Let's see what else we got. Now Santa bells here. They got the keychain with the little bell for the belt loop and stuff like that. These are like you'll see Santas use these to, jingle when they're coming in and stuff. And, they have these little brass bells you put on your belt loops and stuff. The first bell of Christmas, Polar Express. Yeah. Anyways, so if you really want to get into Santa Claus stuff, I would go to Planet Santa and check them out. Like I said, you can get away. You can go to Walmart, all right, in November and buy yourself a Santa Claus suit. You can do that. There's nothing says. The only caveat I would say is don't cheap out on the boots, right? Because it's the first thing I am telling you. The first thing the children will notice is your boots. It won't be the designer beard. It'll be your boots. your shoes, because they're used to seeing this garbage on people, right? And this is like the universal signal to this guy is not serious, right? And Santa, being Santa, right? Even though I get joy out of it and that you may get joy out of it, it's not about you, right? It's about serving these children, right? And making sure that that you leave them with a feeling of they just took part of a storybook story, right? A fantasy story, right? That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get them to believe something that they necessarily would not believe otherwise, right? And it seems like a lot, but it really isn't, because at the end of the day, right, you get your suit, your beard, your boots, you get all that stuff straightened out. All it is you sit there and you listening to the child. That's it. That's all you got to do. And I have rules, like if they ask for a pet or something like that, I say, oh, you got to check with your parents and all this other stuff. But, that's why places like Clausnet, if you decide to be a Santa Claus, that's the other thing that I would say you should do is check into Clausnet, clausnet.net, claus.net. It's like Clausnet, but you have to apply to be a member there. And you have to, I guess you have to, I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so many years ago. Did I have to prove that I was a Santa Claus or something? I know for joining iBurbs, the International Brotherhood of Real Bearded Santas, I had to prove that I had a beard. So I'm not quite sure because you don't have to prove you're a Santa Claus for Clausnet, because you have Mrs. Clauses and you have people that are elves and just like holiday performers in there and stuff. But it's a great group. Great, the most kindest, warmest hearted people you would ever want to associate yourself with is on Clausnet. I am telling you, with open arms, they love everybody. I'm telling you. So, all right, we're going to watch this video real quick. It's a 3-minute, 15-second video. It's about Santa School. And yeah, let's see. All right.
These Santas are all really kids at heart. They like the fun and laughter that comes with it and making people happy. That's why we're here. You ask them why they're Santa. Most of them will tell you because they enjoyed being a child. So they're going back to that. They're reliving their childhood. It's a wonderful thing. Welcome, everyone, to the Charles W. Howard 80th Anniversary Santa Claus School.
Okay, so if you don't know who Charles W. Howard was, he was like one of the first, if not the first, like professional Santa Claus. So he did like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade as their Santa Claus for many years, back in like the 50s and 60s and stuff. And he lived in New York, out in Western New York. He ran a Santa school out there for many, many years. He started a business making Santa suits and this, that, and the other thing. And it was taken over by this gentleman here once after Charles W. Howard passed. And now they're running it in, I'm not quite sure what state they're in. I think they're in Michigan, but I'm not quite sure. But you can go to one of these schools. You can go to the school. They have it. I don't know how many times a year they have it. They have like a few times a year. And you can pay money. You can do it if you wanted to. You can. Very, very easy. You just sign up and go. Right? Look at all these guys. Look at this guy here. This biker guy here with a big old beard here. And he looks like he's ready to go to work. Right? Well, a lot of these guys are, retired guys. These guys are all like retired and stuff. I don't know. They look all retired to me. I don't know.
You better watch out.
You better not cry. You better not cry.
I'm telling you why. Santa Claus
is coming to town. It makes me smile every time I see that.
My name's Tom Valent. I'm the Dean of the Charles W. Howard Santa Claus School in Midland, Michigan.
That's what I'm talking about, the designer beards.
This is the Harvard of Santa Schools. It's the oldest running Santa Claus school in the world. It was started by Charlie Howard in 1937. At Santa Claus School, we learn everything from beard keeping to personal hygiene.
What we're gonna do, we're gonna start with the base, same over here,
to toy making, to what it feels like to ride on the Polar Express, to flying the sleigh.
I want us to not be afraid of dance.
Santa has to be healthy. He's a healthy outdoorsman. If you're not healthy, you're gonna drift off, you're not gonna pay attention. It's very...
And that's my point exactly. People, like I run into people all the time who know that I do Santa Claus, right? Mostly at work, but out in the community too. They know I do Santa Claus. And they go, oh, so I guess you're not doing Santa Claus anymore. It's like, why? Because I'm not fat and unhealthy anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I was in a rough, I don't think they realize how bad a shape I was in. I was going to die. That's how serious it was. I was going to die if I didn't do something. Right. And so I have a whole video on my Zep-bound journey. I think the next podcast, I'm going to talk about being on a GLP-1 and weight loss and how much benefit I got from it. And maybe I can reach out and help somebody with that. But people don't realize, how bad off I was. It was bad. But yeah, so this whole thing resonates with me about Santa needs to be healthy because you need to be able to be there for the children when they need you, right? You need to be able to listen to them and concentrate and not be worried about aches and pains and gas pains and this, that, and the other thing. And is my blood sugar out of whack? Is my gout acting up and all this other crap, right? Look, I'm going to tell you something. If you're overweight, putting aside all this Santa Claus stuff, right? All this crap we're talking. If you're overweight and you're sick and you're getting up there in age, listen, brother, sister, doesn't matter. I'm talking to everybody. Anybody that's going to listen to this, do something about it. Okay? I am completely serious. Do something about it. All right? Just, if not for the people in your life, do it for yourself. Or if not for yourself, do it for the people in your life. Right? Just, I can't tell you how bad off I was and how much that resonates with me is that Santa Claus has to be healthy. That's all I'm going to say about it. We'll get into this some other time, I think.
It's important to have all the skills you can to be a great Santa because the child is going to remember this visit for the rest of your life.
Merry Christmas.
When Charlie had the school, he had 3 or 4 students, in good years, maybe 15 students. This year, we have 214. It just grows. We have Santas, of course, from almost every state in the United States. We have around 20 Santas from Canada. We have 3 Santas from Denmark, 1 from Norway, and 1 from Germany. There's a real sense of camaraderie in this school. It's like this large Santa family coming together. They share stories, they learn from each other. We want to be Santas to make people happy. Well, when we get together, we're making each other happy. I love it.
Look, the one thing I got to say about this, watching this, is that a lot of these Santas that you're seeing in this, a lot of these guys are professional Santas because I know them from iBurbs, and I know them from like seeing them in other things. I know for a fact that some of these guys have their own schools that they do, right? But so a lot of these Santas will treat these schools as like conventions almost because the schools are like 3 days. And so, yeah, sure. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'll go to Charles W. Howard. I'm going to have some fun and hang out with my buddies that I haven't seen in a while and hang out in the hotels and stuff. So the school it's not like an all day thing, right? And then you go out someplace and, you do like everybody's seeing like, 200 Santas flood the town there or wherever they are. But I know for a fact that some of these Santas have their own schools.
Once they leave this school, I hope that each and every Santa and Mrs. Claus goes out and spreads the spirit of Christmas, spreads the love and joy that we have here at this school, and passes it on to all the little children and all the families. When you give joy, you get it back twofold.
All right. It makes me smile. I don't know. It just makes me smile. It makes me like, I'm ready, right? It's July 2nd, for crying out loud. And I'm ready to go, right? I need to get my suit straightened out. Anyways. So yeah, that's Santa Claus. And so if you have any questions about it, feel free to leave them in the comment section of this video. And, feel free to watch my How I Became Santa video. And yeah, hopefully that'll change, that'll kind of get you interested in some of the stuff going on with Santa Claus, right? I guess that's what I'm trying to spit this out because I'm trying to like look at the next thing I'm doing. All right. So it came to my attention today, moving on to the next topic, came to my attention today that Halloween decorations are out already, I think, at like.
Hi friends, I made it to the at-home store. It's taking forever for any of the Halloween to come out in my area. There's actually a
quiet lady. All right. That's oh my goodness. All right, this is like 20. We're not watching this whole thing. I'm just gonna this is at home. Do you guys have an at home? We have a couple of them around us, but Michael's has something out too, and geez Louise. Christmas Candyland. When was that? 3 days ago. Hobby Lobby just dropped the sweetest gingerbread collection. And that's for Christmas. Wow.
Right, the Halloween to come out in my area. There's actually a Michael's
share the screen
this, like shopping plaza that I'm gonna go check out too.
All right. We're gonna skip across. So this
on my actual table, but I feel like this
is turn this down a little bit.
Give you guys the price on this one.
So this looks like
yeah,
a lot of it's decor, but it's not like
for that one. So this one comes.
This doesn't look like stuff that you would use like in a haunt or anything like that.
And this is the matching runner.
So it looks like they have some stuff out.
$5. Oh my gosh, I love this.
$5? Oh my God, I love it.
The boo sign's 10.
Boo. Listen. That's the one thing I will tell you, that if you work in a haunt, right, like a professional haunt, and you run up to scare somebody and you say boo, and one of the managers sees you do it, they'll fire you right on the spot. They will fire your butt cold, dead, right on the spot. Yeah, it's true. It's true. They don't want you saying boo. You got to be like better than that. So don't ever do it. Just a word of advice. If you ever gonna work in a scare, a professional scare haunt, whatever. See if I can turn this up. Does this turn up? Oh my God. Let me see if I can do this. Check, check, check. All right. Turn this down. Okay. All right, whatever. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Hopefully it's not too loud.
Adorable.
Hopefully it's loud enough.
For 10, these little jack-o'-lantern little baskets are 5. I also have this little black one for 5.
I don't know.
Tis the season to be spooky. 6.
So they said they had stuff that's out, but this doesn't look like. I mean, this doesn't look like.
This is cool. Has a little moon on it. This one's $60.
I thought when I heard that they had stuff that was in the stores, I thought Halloween. This person sounded like they were talking like full swing. So this looks like Christmas tree stuff, but Halloween themed Christmas tree stuff, which is
they're just regular decor ones, but this would
which I find really weird.
Yeah, this is
for some reason I just find it really odd. Making a Christmas tree
all of it is down here on the
Halloween themed.
They had some new decorations here at Michael's that so we'll have to check out and see.
Yeah, see, this is like a Christmas tree topper.
Really nice, and I like that it's green.
Yeah.
For the beautiful
I mean, that's 4th of July, all this stuff.
Editing.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if I can find something else here that has. All right.
So yes, Spooky Coven, this is in-person
Pretty
Halloween from
witchy
Michael's.
Priscilla.
So if you want to skip straight to the Michael's Halloween, skip to 18 minutes and 19 seconds.
Pretty witchy Priscilla.
Hello, witches and
this
warlocks,
was
and happy Summerween, and also happy Juneteenth to you. Today
12
is
days
June
ago.
19th, 2026.
June
I hope you guys are
19th.
having a
That's when she
magical
shot
holiday.
this.
So as you can
She went
see,
to the
we
At
are
Home.
right outside of At Home. They're about to open.
They're about to open.
Look,
This
you
lady
guys,
is
they have
this
the
lady
big
is
froggy
waiting at the door
40,
for
just like they have the
frogs.
little one. This guy is huge.
Huge.
This cat, besides those
Wow.
ghosts with the witch hats we saw last time we were
So
here.
this it's like the
And
same.
then we
And-
saw
oh, here's
this-
some. This looks like
So this
some.
butler, $60. He's giving
$60. How
for
tall is
sure.
that thing?
He's giving Ramsey.
Don't be frightened. I am here to serve you for dinner.
Don't eat it.
That's so cheesy.
Would you like some
What is that thing? 2 feet tall? Like some kid's gonna walk up to it and just like boot it across the yard or something. Like, oh yeah.
There are
Boop.
3 patterns. Oh my God, Michaels, you guys are doing your thing this year.
See, this is cool.
is
I like this. The gumball machine. That's pretty cool.
A vintage
I like
gumball
that.
machine, you guys.
It's like gumball machine, or you
And
could
then
put
look at
peanuts in
these
there or
right
something.
Here. They're so adorable.
That's neat. I don't think those are adorable,
The
but
heads kind of feel like jack-o'-lanterns on it. Virgo, which is my best
yeah,
friend Joyce.
horoscope stuff.
Taurus, which is my dad. Aquarius.
Taurus is your dad,
One
huh?
is 20.
Wow.
It's a little Halloween countdown.
Yeah.
For 45.
I don't know. I don't know.
This one is 75.
Let
This
me
is Frightful
main cam this
Things.
again. I'm gonna try and find something else, I guess. 9 days ago, At Home. That's At Home again. Where's let's see if Michael's this has.
Hey, how's it going? It's me, little spooky fellow.
Wow.
Back at it again. So for today's video, you probably read in the title.
Okay.
I went to Michael's and looked at their Summerween.
She goes, "Hey, it's me."
And
Okay.
it's been a day, guys. Okay.
All right. So she talks for 5 minutes before she gets to the store. So we're just gonna pass over all that talk.
This is the darker stuff. As you can see, it's
Darker
feeling a little
stuff.
empty, but I do love. I was trying to figure out exactly what this was. I guess
Okay, now she's talking more. So she did probably
beakers and vials and.
She did 2 minutes of footage of what they're selling, and then the rest of it is talking.
Cute stuff. The stuff that
All right.
they'd have.
Stop it, lady. Just stop it. All right. Well, I guess the rumors about Halloween decorations being out already have kind of overblown. I'm not really seeing a lot. I think maybe I fell into like a hype trap or something like that. People are saying like, you know, oh, check this out. You're gonna have to look because I'm the first one to be looking at this stuff. And now this looks like this at home here looks like it's got some stuff. So let's check this out. Wow. Halloween hunting. This was yesterday that she put this out.
Hello, everyone.
Well, hello.
Welcome back. This is kind of cool. I ain't gonna hold you.
Now, what do you guys think about Halloween stuff being out already? I mean, we're not even like Saturday is 4th of July. We're 2 days away from 4th of July. I don't know how I feel about it. I think 4th of July should have been done first. I guess. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Maybe. I mean, to be fair, Christmas stuff is usually out well before.
Where would we put this? $500.
Look. November 1st of this past year, I was out putting up my Christmas lights. So I have no room to talk, really. So this is just me being like a complete hypocrite going, oh, I don't think like this stuff should be out. Listen, November 1st, maybe I'll do that. I'll show you because I do have some unlisted like shorts of my Christmas. I'm going to do that. Let's go through this real quick and then I'll show you that and then we'll call it a night here.
Got a lot to look at.
So you see they got the blow up things. And I like these. I like these jack-o'-lanterns.
Hopefully.
These are cool.
All right, let's take a look.
These are not really cool. Wow. Look at that. That goes in the ground.
Oh my God, you guys.
This is cool.
I see the witch. Oh, but she's damaged.
She's damaged. That means she's cheap.
Oh, this is cool.
She's cheap.
So cool.
Ask them how much you want for it.
Oh my God, this is so cool.
It's cheap.
Look, is it different?
Oh, it's like a tree witch kind of thing.
Didn't have like the tree stump bar.
All right, let's go
Serious
forward a
right
little
now.
bit.
We're serious.
It's just like a shelf. Creepy music.
Guys.
Wow.
I can't pass on this one.
You can't pass on that?
Can't pass on this one.
All right, so they did have some decorations out, but
Cauldron's back, 17.
not a lot. Wow. All right. Okay. I mean, I guess some at-homes have stuff and some don't. Like some don't have anything that is, let me see this studio. Content. Okay. So what I want to do is I really just want to show you like these couple of things here. Where are they? Shorts, videos, content. Where's my content? Shorts. Phase 2. Oh. I gotta hit the next button. Because apparently I like putting shorts up. All right. Which was the first one that I did? Let me see this. Is this the first one? Yep, this is the first one. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. And I just want to show you, like, this is, can I go full screen with this? It is what it is. These are unlisted, by the way, but this is my Christmas display. And this isn't even like the full one. Like I added things to this, after I had shot this, but this was part one, because they only let you do 3 minutes. So this is my Christmas display from last year. You don't need to hear me coughing and heaving and breathing heavy. I will say this, that where I live, it's in the valley, in the Hudson Valley, right? And we're like in between like the Hudson and the Mohawk. And so we get really bad winds here towards the end of November, right? So a lot of these displays that I did got torn to shreds by the wind this year. This past year was especially bad, but what are you going to do? Like this one I'm about to show you here was this Santa Claus here. This is no more. This thing is no more. That thing is dunzo. Dunzo. Tore up. And I have an outdoor speaker that plays music on there and stuff. And, I pretty much have it set up so people can just come in and check it out if they want. It's not like I don't keep people out of my yard for it. And that dinosaur that I just showed was that big one, has like the head comes down over the fence, right? It like kind of dips and it's got a Christmas tree in its mouth. These are some of the blow molds that I've picked up. So you see how the head dips down underneath the fence, over the fence. A little archway that got a rip in it from the wind. Yep, Santa Claus and an elf in the window, Mrs. Claus and another elf in the window. He's got a saw in his hand. She should be careful. The Santa and the sleigh that are no more. Can't help myself. I'm singing along with the music and everything. I had to put like this piece of wood up here to kind of brace it because the wind was just tearing this thing up. Like this almost like went over the fence one time, and yeah, it's just really, really bad there. And this is cool because the penguins come up and down out of this, and the handle turns on it and everything. Check it out. All right. Let me get to part 2. Nope. This. Let me find it. Part 2. All right. So that's obviously my Grinch scene that I did. And I have a speaker in the back that runs off of, there's like a little USB thing in it that recites the story in a loop. Boris Karloff. The nativity scene. That got wrecked. There's some of my other blow molds. That whole sign in the back got tore up. This surprisingly held up surprisingly well. These guys made it through okay. This made it through okay. And obviously there's the penguins. Problem is, like, this thing would get like blown back a little bit, and the wire would wrap around the handle there, and it would. I'd have to unwrap the wire and stuff like that. Every day I was like checking on these things, having problems with it. But yeah, you can see here the dinosaur dipping over the fence. Yep. Yep. So, hello. Let me get out of this thing here. Hi. So I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do for Christmas this year for decorations, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But, well, I want to thank everybody for coming in and checking out the stream. And you want to watch the playback. If you missed it, you can watch the playback on it. And, you know, it's a good stream. I had a lot of fun showing you guys all the Santa Claus stuff. Again, if you have any questions about the Santa Claus stuff, just let me know. Let me know. I'm here for you. And, you know, if you're interested in any of the suits that I have that are too big, just let me know. All right. So, all right. Well, I'm going to call the stream. I'm going to get ready to hit the hay here. And I thank everybody for showing up. Thank everybody for watching. And again, if you want to leave a like, leave a like. And if you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. If you watch this back and you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate it. And check out some of my other videos, how I became Santa Claus and all this other stuff. So, all right. I'm going to call it a night. Have a good night, everybody.